Hello and welcome to this special edition of Southern Circuit. I'm Rick Lee Stone. This week, Southern Circuit revisits some of the friends we've made on our journeys, beginning with a stop in downtown Tallahassee, where we found some of the area's best musicians performing free of charge as part of a weekly happening at a small club called Radcliffe. In the 60s, they called it a happening. That same spirit is still alive today in a little club downtown called Radcliffe's. Each Tuesday night, it's a packed house as local musicians come together to share an evening of folk music, reggae, storytelling, and good times.
Thank you. Thank you. Bless your hearts. Well, good evening. We're glad you're here. We've got another full lineup tonight. Chuck Reitz is going to be with us. Jim Apgar will be up next. Fred Slade is playing tonight. Sally Warner, Johnny Gillum, and Stu Bruner and Mashi will be back later with some steel drum music.
I ran a club in New York that featured music, and in fact there we had auditions frequently on Monday nights in between the regular musician sets. So this thing came out of, partly knowing these musicians and just liking them personally. And part of it was just wanting to do something to maybe bring a few people in on what would normally be a very slow night.
Didn't know what about, but I was feeling quite disturbed.
Generally what happens is if somebody will come in on a Tuesday night and they'll see what's going on, and then they'll either talk to me or they'll talk to Jake about it either that night or sometime during the next week. And then they'll call me, and if we have a slot open for them, then we'll just schedule them a slot, whatever is a convenient time for them.
We've got another one of our regulars back here with us tonight. I think Johnny was here last week, and he's back again with us. Johnny's been with us since the beginning, and does a fine job, a good songwriter and a fine performer. So please make him feel welcome. This is Johnny Gillum.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dale. I'd like to do a song for you that was made famous by a very good friend of all of us, Mr. Pierce Pettis. My grandmother wrote poetry that she rarely let other people read.
We were thinking that it would be, maybe a month, 2-3 months catching on. And about 3 weeks, we had some, modest interest in it. And then all of a sudden it took off. And now people come in at 7:30 in order to get a seat at 8 o'clock. And by 8:30 there isn't a seat in the house. And so just to know that only word of mouth, by the way, has done it, created this kind of interest, this kind of excitement is really neat.
She was a poet in her own time.
It's a party. It's a marvelous party. I think the greatest thing that's come out of it is I've made a marvelous group of friends, the musicians in the community. And we all just have a grand time. We work like crazy, keeping everyone happy. It gets a little bit crowded, and we have difficulty accommodating all the people who want to get in. In fact, we've had people turn away because it was too crowded. But that's what it's become for all of us. I think it's just a great party on Tuesday night.
Joni Mitchell's.
We're traveling down that cold town road, listen to my rubber-tied whine. Goodbye to Buckeye and White Sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. Well, I've been a coal man all my life, laying down, cracking the hole. Got a back like an ironwood bent by the wind, blood veins as blue as coal.
Boy, it's magic. It's really magic. There's just a fellowship among all the musicians that play down here. It really goes beyond friendship, because when you share something like we share down here, it really is it's a special thing. And say the 10 of us who perform down here on a fairly regular basis when we're not working somewhere else or out of town, just have really formed a really special bond between us. And the nice thing about it is we're always open to new people. We're making new friends down here constantly with other musicians as they come in.
We get a lot of people coming back on a regular basis, and they are here primarily to listen to music. We have had nights when there was a lot of conversation. It was a little difficult to hear, but mostly they're just younger adults for the most part who just enjoy being able to sit down in one place and hear a dozen musicians that they normally travel all over town to catch up with.
Well, tonight it's going to be another John Philip Sousa special here. I think this is called Hands Across the Sea. As I've said many times before, they kind of all run together after a while. I'm going to try to do this without benefit of the key on the side here very much, because I've blown the reeds on the top half of this thing.
I travel all over this part of the country. I just got back from New York yesterday from doing a concert up there. And it's amazing the talent that's here in this town. It really is phenomenal. There's so much here, and for some reason people just tend to flock here and say, although there's really no reason for musicians to be here. There's not a music center of any kind.
Wonder why today's such a special day. Just this morning it was looking like rain. Up in the sky, sunshine in a special way. And if you see it's a sunny day, that's the kind that never stays. Please don't let it slip away again.
This is great. It's somebody really hit the nail on the head last week. They said there in Tallahassee there's really not a central place for artists to congregate, and there's really not a focal point for artists in this community. And this has kind of served that role.
You know, life's a little bit joy, a little bit sorrow. You got dreams and you got hopes for tomorrow. Keep them alive, don't let them die. And keep moving on, keep moving on, keep moving on, keep moving on. No, don't sit down and die.